In the years following the Civil War, our nation had a crisis, not unlike one that we have right now: homelessness. After the Civil War, a lot of soldiers returned home only to find that they didn't have a home. They didn't have job opportunities. And this caused a lot of people to be what they considered tramps. How did we handle that as a nation? Well, we didn't. We passed anti-tramp laws to make sure that those who were homeless, who were jobless, who were desperate, didn't commit crimes in the midst of their desperate situations. Our nation was a volatile place, and people desperate for food and shelter were charged with things like loitering and vagrancy. In the midst of that, a rather peculiar and peculiar-looking man came onto the scene. He was dressed all in leather, a suit that he sewed himself. It weighed 60 pounds and was mainly made from leather scraps, boot tops of discarded shoes and boots. It was said that his schedule was so prompt in his pilgrimage between Middletown-ish, Connecticut, and Ossining, New York, that you could set your watch to it. The Leatherman was a gentle soul. He made a pilgrimage every 34 days of approximately 365 miles. He averaged 10 miles a day, begging for meals and sleeping in caves along the way. For more than a century and a half, the Leatherman, he's remained a vivid part of Connecticut and Eastern New York lore. The Leatherman's former tombstone read, "Final resting place of Jules Bourlet of Lyon, France." He is identified with that name on many accounts. However, many people have weighed in since then, and his identity truly does remain unknown. The name first appeared in a story published in the Waterbury Daily American in 1884. It was a disproven story, but it went something like this. When the Leatherman was younger, he had a promising career in a leather factory and was engaged to the factory owner's daughter. Due to an oversight on his part, he made a serious error in the accounts which he kept, causing a big loss for the business. The story says he lost his job and was disowned by the fiancé's father, and having lost all hopes for life, he took a packet boat to America and became the Leatherman, doing penance for his lost loved one, keeping a marching route as a way of living out his remaining torturous years. The story was later retracted after the Leatherman's death in March of 1889. But we as a people create our own narratives when not supplied with accurate ones. And so the Leatherman is some Americana folklore at its finest. Many documentaries have been made. The Leatherman appeared at many homes in the towns he passed through, where he would knock on the door and grunt a word or two, motioning he wanted something to eat. If he liked the food provided, the home became a stop on his journey. If not, he never returned to it. He was found dead in one of his caves in Ossining, New York, in the early spring of 1889. He likely died from either cancer, which ravaged his mouth likely from years of chewing tobacco, or blood poisoning from the cancer. Either way, he is an important historical figure in Connecticut and Eastern New York. Join me as I spend an evening camping near one of the caves of the Leatherman. Get fitted for a backpack?
Oh, did you? How'd that go?
Good. Well, I found a spot that's relatively flat, and it looks like I wasn't the first person to camp here, although I can promise you I don't have any hard Mountain Dew with me, and I'll be sure to pick up after this person. This is my ultralight, well, not ultralight, it's my summer setup, my lighter gear. I have a Nemo Tensor regular wide uninsulated pad. This is a replacement. I got a pad from them in 2019, last year on our Appalachian Trail hike that we got off of when I got bronchitis. I noticed that there was a leak. I sent it to Nemo, and it was a leak right here, which was a common failure point on the part of the manufacturer. Glad to know it was their fault and not mine, because the other one was definitely mine. I also have a Nemo Tensor Alpine, and that was definitely my fault when it popped a hole. So they warrantied it, replaced it, and the newer models actually have a higher R value. So the one that I sent them had a 1.5 R value, and the one they sent me back has a 2.5 R value. 3 inches thick, 25 inches wide, 6 feet long. Got that paired with a military whoopee, a Sea Summit Aeros premium pillow with a Hikinger pad, which has a strap on it, so that allows me to put it around the sleeping pad. Yeah, I like it. Here is a view from the inside of the Leatherman cave. And there's a view of the outside. They say that when the Leatherman died, somebody bought his suit and put another person in it, like almost like a circus sideshow kind of thing.
Oh, really?
And that the person was only willing to wear the suit once. And then they had to stuff the suit because nobody was willing to wear it. What do you mean this is nuts?
This is quite the adventure.
Yeah.
I can't say I've ever sat in a cave enjoying a fire. But it's a pretty nice fire.
It is.
I hit myself on the shoulder.
And having low ceilings is kicking it right back to us.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So, it's drying anyways.
Yeah. And it's warming because it's starting to get a little chilly.
Yeah. This is crazy.
This is great. It's an adventure.
It is an adventure.
Dinner by a fire. Can't go wrong. Okay, I'm in my tent for the night. Suzanne's in her tent. So I'm going to put my jammies on and get to bed, and I'll see you in the morning.
I didn't mind. I used to love running in the rain because it just keep you nice and cool.
Bit of cheese. Top it off. Let that cook for a minute. All right, there it is. An egg and cheese sandwich. That fire gave me exactly what I needed to cook it. Thank you, Leatherman Cave. Thank you, Leatherman Cave Campsites. Thanks for the rain, God. We do need it.